By any standards, we had an exceptional year last year from a safety perspective. Our fewest ever number of employees hurt at work, a 60% improvement in the previous year in our OSHA rate at 0.26. No electrical accidents, 6 safety champion teams on 0 points, not having a single safety event attributed to them.
I'm Graeme Nicholson and I'm a production manager in Tyne and Wear Urban Zone 1. I think a lot of the credit goes to the team for achieving the 0 points for this year. I think that's down to working safely on site, making sure that we're following all the correct working procedures.
Since we started here, from the second you start, health and safety drummed into you. It's
safety, 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 and they give you all the PPE and tools that you need to do the job.
Safety is number one, and they don't just say it, they actually mean it. It really is number one.
I think there's something very special going on in Northern Power Grid at the moment, I really do. I really think our apprentices and trainees are acting as a catalyst in a big cultural reaction which is creating some extremely positive outcomes for us.
Everything that we do begins with a risk assessment. Everything is checked over and over, and safety is always at the front of your mind of whatever job you're doing.
And at the top of that responsibility hierarchy is safety of the employees, contractors, the public.
The risk assessment just gives you a moment to stop and think and identify any hazards or risks which is around you.
My name's Garry Sagar, I'm fitting production manager and based at Keighley. I think mostly you've got to go out on site, plenty of site visits, make sure risk assessments, everything's in order.
We've seen a lot of hazards identified and some good control measures put in there to reduce them hazards.
We regularly discuss the safety bulletins and safety updates.
And then you've got your last line of defence, which is your workwear, which is brilliant. It's the best workwear I've ever had.
Really good quality PPE, so that makes the job safe.
It's great to hear apprentices speaking so highly of the training and their PPE. It's also equally reassuring to hear supervisors and craftsmen confirm that they've had to up their game, so to speak, to deliver the standards our trainees expect.
I will try and lead by example. If I go on site, I will check their documents, i.e. their risk assessment, their task instruction.
From an engineer's perspective, if you're setting guys to work, you want to make sure that those guys are safe and go home safely.
We have a number of priorities, such as keeping customers' lights on and providing great customer service. But the number one priority is health and safety, and the whole team embraces that culture.
So the driver training course offers us an opportunity as a good refresher. It's an online interactive course.
It just enforced parts of the Northern Power Grid driving policy with regards to your circle of inspection, not using your mobile phones whilst driving, making you aware of the drink drive policy.
So for me, as a young driver, I find it extremely beneficial.
I make a point of getting out a lot and listening to people and observing their behaviours. And I've got to say that I was one of those people who thought that introducing so many trainees with so little experience into the business all at once would cause upward pressure on our accidents and injuries. Well, I'm pleased to have been wrong. What we've actually seen is an absolute credit to all concerned. Not just the trainees, but the folks who've taken them under their wings, carefully coached and mentored them as they've entered the workplace.
When I came to Northern Power Grid, I felt you were really well looked after.
The training is constantly updated and updated and updated. If the processes change, everyone knows where they stand and what's to be done.
The most important thing we need to do is re-evaluate throughout the day, and as the job progresses and changes, make those amendments to the risk assessment so everyone's aware.
Our workplace provides a unique set of hazards that could be potentially fatal if they're not handled correctly.
Safety managers from America came over. They saw what we did, they were very impressed.
I was approached by 2 senior managers and it was just like a general chat like we're having now. It was to hear what my concerns were and they were happy to hear them. Obviously I'm just a trainee and it's nice to know that senior managers wanted to know my opinion as well.
If I did have any concerns, firstly I would speak to my colleagues. Secondly, I would speak to my line manager.
You can approach any manager or supervisor confidentially.
As an engineer, I would feel comfortable challenging unsafe behaviours. But equally, I'd like to think people would be able to challenge me.
If you see something wrong on site, you can say, oh, shall I add that onto risk assessment? Or if it's really serious, you can stop the job. Everyone knows that's something you can do.
Or there's the 159 helpline, which is available to use at all times.
And if you've got any concerns at all, the job gets stopped until it's rectified.
If there is anything that can be made more safe, the only thing we can do is report it and improve procedures if necessary.
So alongside the 3 safety and health improvement plan priorities of leadership engagement, supervisory oversight and workplace risk management, I really do expect the workforce renewal programme to continue to revitalise the capabilities of the organisation and at the same time to continue to be a catalyst for further safety performance improvement and ultimately fewer people getting injured at work. Long may it continue.
You can put a price on a lot of things, but you can't put a price on people's health and well-being.
Electricity is dangerous, so it needs to be respected, and by respecting it, you're keeping your employees safe, and by keeping your employees safe, you're keeping your customers safe.
What we're asking is that everyone comes to work fit and healthy, does a good day's work, and then goes home at the end of that just as fit and healthy as when they came, and everyone has a part to play in that.